Assalamu alaikum viewers, a good day to you all, and today's topic of discussion is flipped classroom. So let me go ahead and tell you something about flipped classroom, and this concept is very common in technologically advanced countries. So you may be thinking, why the concept of flipped classroom? Why we are going away from the conventional lecturing? Remember, the flipped classroom is a very strong concept. How? Let me draw for you some. For example, a teacher may be busy in the classroom. You see, so I am using the word classroom. So activity is now segregated in classroom, and this is the other activity is out of classroom. You see, so let me segregate this activity for better understanding. Here the teacher comes, he in alignments with the program or the course objectives. You see, your teacher does what? He teaches certain learning objectives, and he starts with the lecturing. He starts with the lecturing of that particular topics. And when he's about to finish the lecture, he gives a homework. A homework. A homework. Homework has been assigned to students, and this homework is assigned to students. You see, for continuous or for further readings. But remember, in this particular scenario, the teacher tells them that comes and discuss that in the classroom again. So if I draw a line, a median line, you see a segregation. So the activity is within the classroom and the activity is out of classroom. So the teacher started lecturing on a particular topic, and at the end, what he does, he assigned a homework to the students. Now the students perform their homeworks in their home, and once they are finished, finished with homework. They are finished with homework. I'm using the word homework. When they are finished with their homework, so what they may pair and share. You see, elsewhere they may go to one another rooms in the hostels. They may go and sit in the garden. They may go and sit elsewhere or sit in the library. So here, you see, the teacher is giving them a homework. Now this is the concept of directed self-learning. This is the concept of directed self-learning. And students may take the concept of self-directed learning as well, because they may think that the teacher has given us use this particular terminology in the classroom and what it means, so they started learning at their own. So they extend their studies. So here the directed self-learning concept is being used. And remember, the lecturing concept, which is the very old primitive, that is also used, and self-directed learning is also used. Now, when the students are finished with their homework, they are being asked to come to the classroom again. And once they come to the classroom, then the teacher, for example, a classroom of what you can say, 21 students. If the students are 21, and the teacher may divide them into three groups. You see, the teacher may divide them into three groups. So there may be 7 students, and now they are divided into 2 groups, and they are seated around the tables. And for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 students are there, and at the same time there will be, and this is in group 1, and this is in group 2. You see, and the same that is applied in group 3 as well. So there are 7 students here, 7 students here, you see, and 7 students here. So now they are equally divided. They have been given the task. They have prepared their task. So here, once they come with prepared task, remember, the student must come with prepared task. If they are not prepared, if the students are not prepared, then the concept of the flipped classroom will fail. Remember, this is a technical point. That is why nowadays the medical educationists advised that they shall use the readiness preparedness test or readiness assurance test. Readiness assurance test. This is called as readiness, READ, readiness assurance test. This is advised. Why? When is it advised? When the students comes and they sit in the classroom. For what purpose? They are coming and sitting in the classroom. For what purpose? To share and share what they have learned. In other words, they are bringing the classroom, they are bringing the homework to the classroom again. So the homework has been brought to the classroom, remember. So the homework is brought to the classroom again. And this is the concept of flipped classroom. But here, they are in small group, so the concept of small group discussion is also there. So SUD is their learning strategy, number one. Number two is lecturing. Number three is directed self-learning. Number four is self-directed learning. And remember, there can be so it is a blend of uh, using different flipped classroom is a blend using different types of learning strategies, and perhaps this is the reason that the failure rate has been dropped by 60%. Now the question is, if it is so strong, why we are not going to implement it, my dear colleagues? If we are going to implement it at all means, so for every topics, then it will be very difficult because the students will be overburdened and it will require a lot of faculty as well. Because here a pair of faculty will be sitting here. There is another faculty up here. You see a faculty Iman. There is another faculty, and remember. So at least now you will be requiring additional two faculties. Now, the teacher may assign one of the students as a group leader, like the problem-based learning, but the problem-based learning is being performed in two steps, and their sessions are defined. Here it is performed also in two steps. One is the classroom, the other in three steps. So the primitive first lecturing is there. The second is the homework of the students that is being performed, and the third one is when the students come back and sit in the classroom, and that is called as the flipped classroom. This is the third stage. So it is a more strong than problem-based learning. Remember, and problem-based learning has its own benefits and credits. But the concept of flipped classroom has prepared the students to where the failure rate has been dropped by 60%. Remember, that's mostly attributed to the written test success rate, whereas the problem-based learning is related or attributed to the problem-solving skills of the students. So both of them have their own utility and importance. Now, having said that, then what is the rate determining step? If your student has not prepared their homework, so never goes for the third session of the flipped classroom, which is that you are going to divide the students, a classroom of 21 students into 7 and multiplied by 3, that is 21 students, and you are going to divide it in the 3 groups, each group including 7 students. So this is the rate determining steps. What is advised? If your students are not prepared, so do not go for the flipped classroom. I hope now you understand the concept of flipped classroom. Thank you.